Hello everyone! Mayong adlaw sa inyong tanan. It's been a while since I uploaded our last lesson video and I apologize for the hibernation, but new year, new video. So, today I am back to talk about numbers. In modern Cebuano, numbers are expressed in either Cebuano number system or the Spanish loanwords. Basically, you could go with using English. However, it would be very helpful for you to also learn how we speak numbers here. Cebuano numbers are typically being used for counting items or quantity, where the number is less than or equal to 10. Number 1 is usa, but in some areas, including Davao City, the Tagalog loanword isa is also being used. Therefore, you might hear both used interchangeably for the same concept of the one. Usa, duha, tulo, upat, lima, unom, pito, walo, siyam, napulo. For numbers greater than 10, Cebuano speakers typically use the Spanish number system except for 100 and 1000. Although it's very uncommon to hear the Cebuano words for number 11 and beyond, let us still give you an overview on how it is in Cebuano language. So for 11, let's take 10, which is napulo, and 1, which is usa. So here, you just add og, which means and, then you'll get napulo og usa. Napulo og usa. Or in its contracted form, napulog usa. Napulog usa. Basically, you can just do the same for the other numbers. Napulog duha, napulo og tulo, napulo og upat, napulo og lima, napulo og unom, napulo og pito, napulo og walo, napulo og siyam. And for 20, it's kauhaan. 30 is katluan, 40 is kapatan, 50 is kaliman, 60 is kanuman, 70 is kapituan, 80 is kawaluan, and 90 is kasyaman. Basically, most natives, especially the younger generations, might not even understand if you use these numbers in native Cebuano nowadays, as it's very uncommon. You will likely encounter them more in the Bible or in Cebuano literature. And for 100, you'd use the word gatos. So for example, 100. 1 is usa, then you add ka, and then the gatos. Usa ka gatos. Usa ka gatos. Then you can do the same for 200, duha ka gatos, tulo ka gatos, and so on. For thousands, the word would be libo. So 1,000 would be usa, then ka, and then you add the word libo. Usa ka libo. Duha ka libo. Tulo ka libo, and so on. For 10,000, 10 is napulo, and then ka, and then the word for 1,000, which is libo, napulo ka libo. For 100,000, usa ka gatos, which is the 100, and then ka again, and then libo. Usa ka gatos ka libo. Now that you already know the words for Cebuano numbers, let's proceed with the ones for counting money and quantity. Due to the Philippine Spanish heritage, numerous Spanish loanwords are still widely used these days, from kitchen utensils to bedroom items and even counting numbers. I believe the Spanish numbers are mostly being used more than the Cebuano one, with the exception of 1 to 10 in Cebuano, of course. So let's start with 1 to 10. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, 10. And here are the Spanish ones. As you can see here, the spellings are not all the same as in Spanish, which would also be the case for later numbers, but the pronunciation is very similar. These Spanish loanwords are being used for counting money. For 11 and beyond, Spanish numbers are used not only for counting money, but also for indicating quantity. 11 would be once, 12, 13, 14, 15. For 16, it would be 10 plus 6, which is 6, 16, 17, 18, 19, and for 20, it's 20. And to form numbers beyond 20, similar to the previous method, you simply add both the tenths and ones. For example, 20 plus 1, that would be 21. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. For numbers from 30 to 90, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. To add ones or units to them, for example, 31, we need to connect them with Y, which is similar to Y or E in Spanish, meaning end. So 30 is 30, add Y, and then 1, which is 1, then 31 would be 31. 55 would be 55, 55. And 88 would be what? Correct, 88. Was it clear? Alright, let's now proceed to 100. 100 is ciento, similar to ciento in Spanish. To form 100 and beyond, just add the hundreds and the ones. For example, 101. Ciento plus 1, which is 1. 101, and then 102, 103, and so on. 110 would be 110. And 188 would be 188. 188. For 200, dos for 2, then cientos with S at the end. So it's dos cientos, 200. 300, 3 is tres, so that would be 300. 400. For 500, this one would be an exception as it's 500. 600, 700, 800, 900. And 1000 is mil. So to form numbers in mil, it's similar in English. It would be thousands, then hundreds, then tens and ones. Let's take 1234 as an example. What would it be? It would be 1234. 1234. 4321. 4321. 4321. 4321. And 2024, which is our year today, would be what? If you said 2024, that's awesome. So basically, the spelling here doesn't really matter that much. It would just help you how to pronounce them in Cebuano, but in writing, most people will just use the cardinal number. Like, not spelling the whole word itself, but just the numbers. To specify years and times of day in Cebuano, we use Spanish loanwords. For example, year 2023. It would be tuig, which is the Cebuano word for year, Then, 2023. Tuig 2023. And for telling the time of the day, we would need the words ala and alas. So for 1 a.m. or 1 p.m., it would be alauna. And for 2 and beyond, we would use the word alas. So for 2 a.m. or 2 p.m., that would be alas dos. 3 in the morning or in the afternoon, that would be alas tres. Alas 4, alas 5, alas 6, alas 7, alas 8, alas 9, alas 10, and so on. We'll talk more about this time of the day in another video. In the meantime, let's proceed to ordinal numbers. So for specifying a numerical ranking, we would need the prefix ika, with the exception of number 1, which would be una. Or some people would also use the word primero or primero, which is similar to Spanish. Second is ikaduha. Then third is ikatulo, ikaupat, ikalima, ikaunom, ikapito, ikawalo, ikasyam, ikanapulo. To form ordinal numbers beyond 10, you continue using the pattern of ika prefix followed by the Spanish loan numbers or Cebuano words for 11 to 19 and Spanish loan words for 20 and beyond. And now let's do a quick rundown or rough summary of the key points that we explored today about Cebuano numbers. You use the Cebuano numbers when counting items or quantity, usually from 1 to 10. And with ordinal numbers. Use the Spanish loanwords or numbers when counting items or quantity more than 10, counting money, and with date and time. Please be reminded that this is just a rough guide on how it is usually being used in many places these days. Alright, now we're gonna wrap up today's lesson with a quick round of quiz time. We have 5 sentences for you about this topic, and you have about 5 seconds each sentence before the correct answer is revealed. But feel free to pause should you need more time. Andam na ba ka? Awesome! Let's start. Niadto ang iyang nga anak sa amuang balay. Her second son came to her house. Niadto ang iyang ikaduha nga anak sa amuang balay. Gusto ko mopalit og kapatatas. I want to buy 3 potatoes. Gusto ko mopalit og 3 ka patatas. Tag ang kasanina. 2 shirts cost 120 pesos. Tag 120 ang duha ka sanina. Naay ka manga sa lamesa. There are 35 mangoes on the table. Naay 35 ka manga sa lamesa. Mopalit mi og ka libro unyang alas. We will buy 10 books later at 10 o'clock. Mopalit mi og 10 ka libro unyang alas 10. And there you have it. I hope today's lesson has deepened your understanding of numbers in Cebuano language. While it might be easier to converse in English with natives, there's still a distinct connection when you talk in our mother tongue. As Nelson Mandela wisely said, if you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his own language, That goes to his heart. I wish you a wonderful week og hinaot nga magkita-kita tayo sa sunod na akong video. Amping!